everyone. Guess what time it is? Where's the camera? Draw time. Okay, so the US Open is starting, well, I'm filming this on a Sunday, so it's starting for me tomorrow, but by the time I'm posting this, it'll be today, I guess. So the US Open's starting today, and it's very exciting, right? I mean, this is the first Grand Slam in history during a coronavirus pandemic, so it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. Obviously, not every amazing player is playing, but that's okay. That's okay because we still have some really top players playing this. So what I did was I printed out the men's draw and the women's draw, and I filled them out. I filled all of them out, and I have my predicted winners here. I actually, now after doing this, I don't think I picked the correct people, but I did have my reasonings throughout every matchup, so like, who knows, right? Maybe I'm a genius secretly, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna start with the men's draw. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go over every single, match that I did, but I'm just gonna kind of give a basic analysis of why I chose who to win those matches in the final. First of all, Djokovic just won the Western and Southern Open, so I'm putting him doing pretty well in this because he's Djokovic and Federer and Nadal are not playing, and I mean, Murray's playing, but I have Murray winning, I think, one round. So Djokovic just kind of has like a pretty easy path all the way to, for me, I put in the semifinals. So let's talk about who I think he's going to lose to. So I think he's going to lose to Tsitsipas just because I saw him play in the Western Southern Open and I know he lost, but he looked really good. And Djokovic looked really tired in the Western Southern Open, so based off of that, maybe he's gonna be too tired to like consistently play well all the way to the end. So I have Stefanos Tsitsipas beating Novak Djokovic in the semifinal match. Other than that, there's not too many big upsets. I think usually that's kind of the trend in men's tournaments anyways, less upsets. Usually it's the predictable players that win. So yeah, I think, one upset I have is this Polish player, Hubert Hurkacz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm going to have him beat Alexander Zverev in the round of 16 just because I remember his game, and also, so pretty much Hubert's game is like very like aggressive, big serve, and he's just a really good player. He's really solid, I guess is a good way to put it, and Zverev obviously is Zverev. I love him, but he has a really bad track record in Grand Slams. So obviously this is a different type of Grand Slam, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he shocks everyone and wins the whole thing, but it's still a Grand Slam and he hasn't done well in them yet, so that's why I have him losing to a solid player like Hubert Hurkacz. So that's kind of the men's draw. So what I have in the semifinal, like I said, Djokovic and Tsitsipas beating Djokovic. On the other half of the draw, I have Medvedev and Dominic Thiem in the other semifinal half, and I have Medvedev winning that. And there are no surprises on this second half of the draw. It's kind of just like the top seeds winning. I have Raonic doing pretty well just because I personally don't like him as a player, but he did really, really well in the Western and Southern Open, so I have him getting to the quarterfinals where Thiem would, I think, beat him. So anyway, so the final would be Medvedev and Tsitsipas, and I have, dun dun dun, I have Medvedev winning the whole thing. First of all, I love Medvedev. I think he's an insanely good player. Like, insanely good. My only issue, and this is why I'm so uncertain on how I did all this, because I haven't seen Medvedev play since before the pandemic, so he could be, like, terrible right now. Like, I really don't know. I haven't really watched him play. But that's what I did. So I have Medvedev winning the US Open men's tournament. And I'm gonna be keeping track of like every individual match to see how well I do overall predicting these outcomes, but I guess we'll see. I'm not very certain on how well I did. But anyways, let's move on to the women's draw. So for the women's draw, I have a little bit more unpredictability going on. I have Coco Gauff losing in the first round, which I think people are like, why are you doing that, right? Because she's playing really well and she's obviously an up and comer. But what I noticed in the last tournament she played, she was super negative. And I think a lot of it has to do with there's a lack of a crowd right now. Like when she was doing really, really well last year, massive crowds cheering her on, right? So now that those massive crowds are gone, I don't know how well she's going to play. She's young. She might thrive off of those crowds. So that's why I have her losing in the first round. Let's see who I have her losing to. I have her losing to the 31 seed, Anastasia Sevastova. Um, I mean, Sevastova's good. I think Coco Gauff would beat her in a vacuum kind of, but because this isn't a vacuum, I would be very impressed if Coco Gauff wins the first round. So we'll see. I might be wrong. I think, I definitely believe Coco Gauff can go very far in this tournament, but that's just based off of my observations in terms of how she plays without really a crowd. Um, Other than that, I have Pliskova, the one seed, going pretty far. I have her losing to Kerber in the round of 16. Who else I have? Okay, Naomi Osaka. So originally, I had her winning the whole thing. But then apparently she pulled out of the Western and Southern Open final to Victoria Azarenka because of a hamstring issue, and she wanted to make sure she got as much time as possible to recover. The issue is hamstrings are tough, and I'm not sure if she's gonna fully recover by the time of the U.S. Open. So I don't know. I think if she does end up playing very well and her hamstring's not an issue, I'd still, just putting that here right now, I still think that she could win the whole thing. But we'll see if her hamstring holds up. What else do we have here? So because of that, I have her losing in the round of 16, which still, like, imagine how much credit I'm giving her that even with an injured hamstring, I think she will get to the round of 16. But I have her losing to Danielle Collins, who hasn't had a very good start to this year, but she's a really solid player, and I'm a fan of solid players. So I have Danielle Collins winning that round of 16 matchup. I have Kvitova going super far. I think that's mainly it. Oh, I have Madison Keys beating Serena Williams in the quarterfinals. First of all, I think that Serena's super tired. Like, she looks so tired when she plays. Like, once she gets to the quarterfinals and she goes up against a hard hitter like Madison Keys, I really think that Madison Keys can beat her. And I have a lot of faith in Madison Keys. I love her game and I love Madison in general. So hopefully I'm right on that. Um, I think Sophia Kennan's going to do well. She did not play well in the Western Southern Open, which is scaring me. But I think she's one of those amazing players. She has one of my favorite games on tour. I think her game is flawless. Like, I really do. Like, it's so good. So that's why I have her going far. So I have Madison Keys and Sophia Kennan in the semifinals. But I do have Madison Keys winning that semifinal matchup. I don't know, that I was like, I remember I was sitting down, like, just staring at this, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But yeah, I ended up picking Madison Keys. The other half of the draw, I have Angelique Kerber and Petra Kvitova, and I have Angelique Kerber winning that matchup. That was another one where I had to ponder it for a very long time because I genuinely don't know. Like, it's I don't know. But yeah, I think someone to watch out for. I have Haley Baptiste winning 2 rounds. No, 3. Yeah, 2 rounds. Sorry, I really can't count. 2 rounds. Which, for her being a wild card, I'm giving her a lot of credit here. I have her beating Mladenovic in the first round, which I don't even know what I'm thinking. But I think she has a really interesting game. And I haven't seen her play too much. So this is kind of like a curiosity one where I'm like, you know what, I'll give her the wins and then see for myself how she looks. But I think she could do it. But anyway, so I have Angelique Kerber and Madison Keys in the finals. And I picked Madison Keys. Madison Keys, I think, is going to win the women's U.S. Open. Which, yeah, guys, this is the thing. I picked Medvedev and Madison Keys. Like, I don't think anyone else in the entire world would agree with me. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing with this. I am not betting anything on this, guys. Just saying that now. I'll probably lose so much money if I did. But yeah, so those are the people I have. Obviously, I would watch out for Coco Gauff, even though I have her losing the first round in my potential thing. But also watch out for Anisimova. She's always great. obviously watch out for Osaka. I think if she is feeling healthy, I think she was gonna win the whole thing. She's an insane player. Like I can't even. But on the men's side, if you want to play it safe, I would still go with Djokovic. But Medvedev, right? Like I think Medvedev can do well unless he gets like super in his head. But at the same time, he does kind of thrive off of those negative energies for some reason, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's kind of the US Open preview I have for you guys and who I think's gonna win the men's and women's singles Grand Slams. If you guys disagree, which I think a lot of you guys might, but if you guys disagree or have who you think will win these Grand Slams, comment below. And I'm super excited for the US Open. I was hoping a Grand Slam would still happen this year. So this is super exciting, and I can't wait to watch all these wonderful matches, and I wish all the players the best of luck. But anyways, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time.